Live from CBS4. Your News at 6 starts right now.
Hoosiers travel on city and county roads every day, and none of the governor's plan goes to help maintain that infrastructure.
Governor Mike Pence wants to spend $1 billion to upgrade Indiana roads, but none of that money will go to help cities and towns take care of their streets. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Donaldson. Debbie has the night off tonight. Lawmakers are already debating who's going to pay to keep up the roads you drive on. CBS 4's James Girardi spoke with lawmakers today and explains the debate.
The big question now, should the state be paying to upgrade city streets? The answer for some lawmakers is not as easy as you'd think. The Tippecanoe County Commissioner testifying to the State Transportation Committee. Localities across Indiana are losing cash and are unable to pay for road upgrades themselves.
We're to the point where we can't look forward for that next project and build infrastructure for that next project because we have to focus every dollar on maintaining the current infrastructure.
This plan only reinforces the perception that the state is not there to help local units of government maintain the infrastructure they have.
Transportation Committee members like State Representative Dan Forstall say the governor's plan will leave localities in debt, forced to pay for road upgrades themselves.
It does nothing to help local units of government fund their roads. Hoosiers travel on city and county roads every day, and none of the governor's plan goes to help maintain that infrastructure. And again, that makes up 70% of the roads in Indiana.
In too many cases, I think they're asking us to raise that money for them because they don't want to make tough votes themselves. But the reality is they have to as well.
While Republicans agree the state will find a way to help localities pay for road upgrades, the State House, they say, can't be the only source of funding.
Both sides have some issues to work through on that, but I've been encouraged by how they've been working together to try to come up with a solution and an answer to it.
No telling what the help will be, if any, from the State House this session. Local officials testified today that the funding gap for local roadways statewide is roughly $500 million a year. Reporting in the newsroom, James Girardi, CBS 4 News.
James, thank you. We've done several stories about problems with Indiana roads and what's being done to fix them. Find our complete coverage on CBS4Indy.com. New at 6, a Lawrence police car back with its owner. Police say they took a suspected shoplifter, Heather Johnson, into custody at the Walmart on Pendleton Pike. She was handcuffed and seatbelted inside that car, but somehow managed to get into the driver's seat and drive away. Police say she went about a mile, then ditched the car and called her family. The family turned her into police. Johnson faces charges of escape, auto theft, and resisting law enforcement and theft. Also new at 6, an official cause of death determined for the Pike High School football player who collapsed and died during practice this summer. 14-year-old Colin died of heat stroke due to hyperthermia. Temperatures the day Kelly collapsed were in the 80s with humidity above 60%. The school suspended practice after his death. Quick check of the weather today. Check out this time lapse of the clouds rolling over downtown today. Meteorologist John Dessauer is in for Chris tonight with the forecast. That's a beautiful picture there, John.
Yeah, very cool. Just a little sun outside mixed between those clouds. Well, a lot of clouds outside right now. Cold front's getting closer and winds are beginning to pick up as well. We've got gusts now 20 to 30 miles per hour in some locations. In fact, you can see right now in Muncie, winds are gusting 23 miles per hour, 30 mile per hour gusts Lafayette, 22 mile per hour gusts in Terre Haute. We had winds gusting upwards of 26 miles per hour last hour in Indianapolis. This morning, a very chilly start to the day. We got down into the 30s for almost all of central Indiana. As cool as 32 degrees in Martinsville this morning. We dropped down to 38 degrees in Indianapolis, which, by the way, is the coldest temperature we've had in Indianapolis since April 27th. Temperatures right now a bit warmer. We've had a nice rebound through the day. We're sitting at 70 in Indianapolis, 71 in Shelbyville, same in Bloomington, 64 in Muncie, and 69 in both Lafayette as well as in Terre Haute. Live Guardian radar right now is relatively quiet. We do have a cold front that's coming our way, beginning to move into the northwestern part of the state. It'll pass tonight, bringing a shot of cooler air for tomorrow. There's another cold front further to our north and west that will bring us another reinforcing shot of cool air coming our way. For this evening, 67 degrees by 7 o'clock, 61 by 9, 58 by 11. I'll let you know how cool we get tonight. Plus, there are freeze watches in effect for central Indiana. I'll tell you when that affects us coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, John, we'll see you then. Another CVS pharmacy robbery attempt. The suspects were caught, didn't get away with anything. Police say 4 teenagers were held up that CVS on Kentucky Avenue on the southwest side around midnight. Witnesses tell us the suspects tried to wait for a time delay safe to open, and by the time they went to leave, police were waiting outside. Time delay safes don't open for a certain period of time after a code is put in. CVS is installing those in more than 150 area stores.
We support the retail pharmacies as they take the steps that they deem necessary to stem the tide of these incidents.
IMPD says the suspects are teenagers between 17 and 18 years old and may be connected to several other pharmacy robberies. The FBI has taken over the case of a mother and son accused of plotting to murder a Noblesville attorney. Today, the pair appeared in federal court for the first time. It's a bizarre case we've been following closely since May. New at 6, CBS 4's Jill Glavin was in that courtroom. She joins us now to explain these new charges. Jill?
Yeah, Bob, that mom and son appearing here in federal court. They seem that they were pretty relaxed, even laughing and joking with their attorneys at times. But they now face even more time behind bars because the FBI has gotten involved. Renee and Richie Perillo are from out of state. They're accused of coming here to Indiana to find an attorney who is involved in a divorce case against Renee Perillo's boyfriend. An investigation found strange items with the two, including disguises, a shovel, a gun and knife, and even a powerful drug used in surgery to paralyze the patient. I talked to the attorney, Rebecca Eimerman, who says the case has been very contentious. She told me that she believes the Perillos came to murder her. But Richie Perillo, the son who spoke to me from jail in July, has said they were here just to talk to her.
I was just following my mom, and then she told me that we were going in that car to talk to the woman about stopping the issues that her and my mom's husband were having.
Now, federal law is different than state law. The pair had previously been in Hamilton County Court. They now face kidnapping instead of murder charges, but the penalty is harsher. It does bring up to life in prison. Now, in their court hearing today, the judge laid out the charges against them. They'll appear again in court in a couple of weeks. At that point, they'll decide if they will hold them pending trial. Now, coming up tonight at 11, I'll tell you much more about the bizarre details of this case, and you'll hear from the U.S. Attorney about why he says they should stay in jail while this case continues. Reporting live downtown, Jill Glavin, CBS 4 News.
Jill, thank you. An update now on the Butler Tarkington neighborhood. CBS 4 has learned a truce has been declared in the deadly violence that's claimed 4 lives since early August. Sources say 2 sides have been at war ever since a fight at the state fair this summer. Sponsors of a Sunday peace rally in Butler Tarkington Park hope neighbors from the north edge of the neighborhood will attend, even though it's the south part of the neighborhood near 38th Street that's in turmoil.
Well, we do definitely need the north side of Butler Tarkington Committee. We are R1 neighborhood. The neighborhood, they are involved in it too, and the crime is starting to inch closer to their side of the neighborhood.
The organizers call themselves WADE, working against devils every day. They say leaders of both sides in the gunfire have vowed to put their weapons down. One less candidate for mayor in the city of Richmond. Camera Guard recently moved, and her new address puts her just outside the city limits. That makes her ineligible to serve as mayor. She's withdrawn from the race. The clerk is now contacting close to 200 people who already cast absentee ballots to see if they want a new one. Today in Columbus, Toyota celebrated 25 years of manufacturing. Their plant employs more than 1,500 people in the city and primarily manufactures forklifts. Governor Pence was on hand for the occasion. Today's celebration also included news of an expansion which will add more than 50,000 square feet to that building. Today is the last day of a donation drive to collect bikes for a project called Shifting Gears. We first told you about it 2 weeks ago when it began.
We take in donated bikes. They get refurbished by offenders at the Putnamville Correction Facility, and then they get donated to organizations, to people who need bikes.
Since the program started in 2006, nearly 4,000 bikes have been donated. Right now, the demand for those bikes is more than the number available. Bikes can still be donated to Bicycle Garage Indie stores. You'll find a list of those within this story on our website at CBS4Indie.com. In the Colts Blue Zone, the Patriots-Colts matchup just 3 days away now. The team will face the defending Super Bowl champs this Sunday for the first time since the AFC Championship game, and they're preparing for New England with Andrew Luck's status looming. He was limited at practice today. Whether he'll play is still uncertain.
Well, I don't think that, Coach Pagano nor our doctors would allow him to play if he wasn't ready to go out and play full speed. And so we're preparing ourselves to attack their defensive scheme and as we always do, put our playmakers in a position to be successful.
As you may know, New England is undefeated this season. Kickoff between the Patriots and the Colts scheduled for 8:30 p.m. this Sunday. That game is at Lucas Oil Stadium. We're all about Blue Friday on CBS4 this morning. Join Marianne, Tim, Nicole, and Lindsay starting at 5 a.m. We talked just a few minutes ago about Governor Mike Pence's billion-dollar plan for road upgrades. Well, up next, details about a different billion-dollar road plan that would connect I-65 and I-69. See who's behind that plan, what it would take to become reality.
Secretary of State John Kerry on the campus of Indiana University today talking about foreign policy and the decision to keep troops in Afghanistan. I'm Liz Gilardi. Coming up, how Indiana is part of this global conversation.
And don't forget Thursday night football right here on CBS4. Tonight's the Atlanta Falcons at the New Orleans Saints. Our coverage starts at 7:30. Kickoff is at 8:25.